Welcome to the Gritty Podcast. I am your host, Brian Call, and I'm joined by my brother, the Gritty Broman, behind the camera there. If you're listening to this podcast, you're not watching it, you're going to hear a little background noise because I'm recording this quick and dirty like. And this podcast is basically about this new decked system that I've got in the back of my truck here. And my little trailer rig, my cargo trailer camping rig. I'm going to blow through it pretty quick. I just wanted to give you all a look at my setup. I'm super stoked on it. It's worth every penny, even though they gave this to me. Full disclosure, I would buy it in a heartbeat. I think it's around $800 or $1,000. And there will be a link in this video below. You click on that. It's an affiliate link, and it'll give you some cool options there, and it helps us and keeps us doing the show. So this is the decked system, and I first saw this on Bo Martonic's podcast, our buddy Bo, on his platform. He does the East Meets West podcast. Awesome dude. He hooked me up. He got me in contact with the guys at Decked, and then I went and talked to them, and y'all need to get one if you have a truck, especially if you have a truck with a canopy. So I've had it for about 4 weeks, been messing around with it. You can see I have a lock on this one. I didn't install the lock on this one yet, but I'm working on that. But basically, this is what it is in a nutshell. I can access my truck bed right here. I'm giving up a little of the bottom space, but you can see how much room I still have. I can throw my Yeti coolers in here on top of the deck. I can climb inside. Plenty of room to still use and leverage my truck bed. And then at the front, because I have an 8-foot truck bed, not a 6. They actually don't make a deck system that goes all the way, which is fine by me, because up here in the front, I've got a couple of Reinhardt targets. I got a 5-gallon water jug, little Yeti bucket. I've got various things back here. I throw my generator in here, water, gas tank, little things that they don't shake around or anything. They're tucked right up in there. I don't have to strap anything down. And what's cool about it is I can still have full access to lay out my canvas cutters, which are right here. And for those who don't know about the canvas cutter, these things are really awesome. They're bed rolls. You pop them open like this, and you can throw these things out on the ground. They're waterproof. But they also, my wife and I slept back here when we were at the lake the other day. On these, we put these two canvas cutters side by side, and totally crushed it in here with these mattresses. Had the whole system to ourselves back here, and you can roll these canvas cutters out side by side, and your truck bed is now a little camper for me and the missus. She rolled hers out right here. Now, technically, if we didn't want to sleep outside, I'll do a different podcast on these canvas cutters. Hopefully you've seen them in our past videos. Ryan has one. I have one. They're perfect for just when we want to pull over on the side of the road or we're at some kind of camp area. It has some poles that pop up, so it's sort of like a tent in a way, and we can just roll into these canvas cutters. But it's nice to throw it in the back of the truck, just the wife and I, and just sleep. These pads are really nice that come with the canvas cutter. Typically, I already have my pillow, my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pillow. I think this is Brent's.
Yeah, that's 100%. I'm looking for that.
It's mine now. I've had it for I don't know how long when you borrowed it last. And so I got a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pillow in here, and I usually have, depending on the time of year, it already has some kind of sleeping bag or quilt inside of it. So it's just ready to go. It's all one bedroll. And you can see it rolls up compact like this. For those that are listening, I'm sorry, you'll probably just want to watch this video. It's got a little handle on it. You toss it in the back of your truck. This one has cow turds in it because I rolled it out on top of cow pies in a pasture. Brushed right off. They're waterproof, canvas, heavy duty. But you can see it rolls up real tight and nice. And I store it in the back of my truck. But I like this decked system because I can just throw these things out. In the past, if I wanted to sleep in the back of my truck, I had to unload all my stuff or shift it around to set up the bed. And then I had to roll up the bed, put the stuff back in. It's really a pain in the butt. Now, this is where the brilliance of the decked system comes into play. If you check this out, my stuff is so organized now. So this is what's awesome. Bedrolls are out. I could leave them up 24/7. which we did when we were camping, the wife and I, but I still have full access to my gear in the back of my truck. So I can roll out this drawer from this system. I got a couple arrow tubes, couple dozen arrows right here in the tube stored in there. I've got my Hoyt RX 3 or 4, I don't know which one this is, in the back. For those that don't have one of these, you should get one. This is a silky saw made in Japan. This is the Sugoi, I can't remember. This is like a chainsaw, but not. It's unreal. I could cut down any of these telephone poles in a couple of minutes with one of these. It's unreal. If you haven't seen one of these, you should. It's wicked curved. I hit my knee with it last year when I was cutting down some limbs, bow hunting mule deer in a tree stand. It wrecked my leg. It's seriously like a chainsaw. This thing's wicked. You could cut down a forest with it. I cut down all these trees in the yard, full-grown trees, with this in 15 or 20 minutes. I don't really want to carry a chainsaw, although I do in my cargo trailer when I go on some major trips. But this thing, this handheld thing, is unbelievable. Like I said, silky. Japanese saws, whatever they've done to these teeth and this curved design, it's wicked. Wicked, wicked. For those that might have one or have heard of it, leave a comment. Tell other people how awesome it is, because I've never met someone who didn't find it like a freak of nature tool. These are my stockasins. I got those back here. During the month of September, I wear these 24/7 unless it's wet, because they're not really waterproof. And I love just sneaking around in those. I love the comfort. And then they're my camp shoes. When I want to bring something that I can just wear around camp, get my feet out of my boots, they're probably about the same weight as like a pair of Crocs or something, but I find them to be more versatile. And then you got this little toolbox, and these you can get these with the decked system, so you can keep, because you have little items. You can get a system like this. So in here I've got thumper tips and just super glue and all my archery bits and pieces, fletching tools. Got a couple of knives, Essie knives in here. Just I don't know, just my things. So I keep them in that box, and then here I just chucked in here the other day this Thermacell. It's unreal. It keeps the mosquitoes away. Got that in there mostly for the kids. I don't care if I get bit by mosquitoes. I'm gritty. That's this drawer, right? So just giving you guys a feel for how effective the setup is. I mean, I'm able to have all these things in the back of my truck, and I still have full use of my truck bed back here. It's pretty tough to beat. This side, I like these little bins. You can see it right here that are in the front. Here I have little miscellaneous. I got headlamp, little Aquaphor, got a little Benchmade knife in here, toilet paper, wipes, duct tape, some extra broadheads, headlamps. Like, you can just kind of throw junk. It's like a little collector. So on this side, they also have this style, which is a little bit bigger of a toolbox. You pop open this toolbox and you can get to more things. I got fletchings, extra quivers, archery equipment, weights for my stabilizers, just more archery. Slips right in here, and there's a row of them. You can have a row of these toolboxes in there, so your stuff's real easy to get to. Again, another bow back here. Full access, even though I got my coolers and my propane tanks and everything else up here on the decked system on the top. I still have access to all my gear. I don't have to crawl in to go get it. I can't say enough about it. And then what I like about it is it locks right here from the outside. If someone did break into my canopy, it's a little tough to get in here around this lock to try to break into this heavy-duty case. People were asking the other day, well, what if your truck, how often do you get your truck cab broken into, your canopy broken into? It is nice to store a bunch of stuff inside here, and it's really tough to break into, and it's got these locks. So even if they did break into your truck, now they got to try to break into that. Just another level of security. Meanwhile, it's got an alarm system on it, so it's going to be howling the whole time. It's just another layer. And then these little cubby holes are nice. They pop open right here on the side. Apologize for those of you that are listening to this podcast, but there's a little pocket cargo box. They're just trying to leverage every little space that's available. So this little cargo box.
And those are on every corner?
Every corner, 4 of them. And they're pretty large, and you can just stuff a bunch of crap in there too. And then when I'm in the deck system, the wife had hers on this side. So when she had her bed rolled out, we just stuck these over here. She could just stick things in there and pull it out while she was in her canvas cutter. Keep her phone and everything kind of close to her bed, little storage spot. There you have it. Very handy little setup there that I'm really digging. That's a quick rundown of the deck system. Real quick, we're going to keep this short. I'm going to show you my cargo trailer and how I have it rigged for hunting. So this is my cargo trailer. I think it's a 7 by 18, 20 or something like that. And it's got this door latch on the outside. That's how it was a construction kind of cargo trailer. I decided to outfit it for a hunting rig. I've used it before. I remember I made a long road trip to Canada, Montana, 6-week long trip, and I threw a true chest freezer cooler in the back of this that was empty, and then I filled it with moose and elk on that road trip and a mule deer. We just plugged it into a generator, plugged it in the wall of a house whenever we needed to, and we froze that meat pretty solid as we made that trip around the country. And once the meat was frozen, you could unplug the cooler, let it be unplugged for a couple days, and it would still stay frozen. So it was a pretty good rig, but since then I've got other plans for it. Right now I basically just got a new handle. You can get one of these that I'm going to install because right now you can only lock it and open it really from the outside. So I just got one of these locks. This will be giving me a handle that I can use on the inside or the outside of the trailer, so I can retrofit this door into more of a camper door instead of a cargo trailer door. So that'll be nice. I can open it from the inside, and if you come on in here, these are the bunk bed cots that you get from Cabela's or Sportsman's. Right now I have this one, which has an extension right here that makes it a little taller. If you don't have the extension, this is what the gap looks like here between the top and bottom bunk, which is fine. But if you're going to sit on it or whatever, you just want a little more room, it is handy down here. Now, the bunk beds were too long to fit lengthwise. It's 7 feet. The bunk beds were like 4 or 5 inches longer than that. They're like 7.5 feet long. So I pulled the middle section out of these poles and I cut them 4 inches shorter and retrofitted the bed so that it fits the width of the trailer. I've got another one on the way, so I'll have 3 bunks, boom, 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 that stack up back here. I'll probably remove the extension down here. I don't know. I haven't figured out yet how much room I want the top bunk to have. But bottom line is I can put 3 beds in the back, and these are the extra large, extra wide cots that Cabela's Sportsman's have. And you can see there's plenty of room here. It's super nice. I can still drive a quad or a UTV, ATV into the back of here, whatever. Boom, I can drive it in the back, and then I can just set this up. The other thing is because it's perfectly sandwiched between the walls right here, I don't really have to worry about these things shaking or falling apart. They're even more stable than they normally would be. It was a quick and easy setup. Last year, David Brinker, myself, Lampers, Ben and Anthony, and Brad Hunt, we all crammed in here. Lamper spent more time in the back of his truck because it's just too crowded, because I had to run the beds lengthwise this way because there wasn't enough room, or because they were too wide to fit the width of the trailer like I have it now. Since then, like I said, I just cut them with a metal sawzall, and then I stuck it together. I'll have 3 bunks high on the back, and then if I need to, because I have more guys or if the kids are in here, I'm going to have this set up as well. And my plan is actually to shorten this too, because even the tallest dudes I know don't need this much length. They're just long. So I'm going to cut that shorter. And if you're tall, you're just going to have to bend, and you hunt with me, you're just going to have to bend your knees. So what I'm stoked on is I'm going to insulate this. I owned a construction company for years. I built a tree house that I lived in for more than 10 years with the whole family. I'm no stranger to construction and plumbing and electric and all of that. So my plan, though, is to have these removable beds and the back of this completely open, so I can just take these beds down, pull in a recreational vehicle of some kind, a 4-wheeler or whatever, and then when I get to my camping spot, I can back that thing out, set up my bunks. And then in an emergency, I want to have room to set up this if I need extra space for someone else. And then basically on this end, my plan is to build a sink, put a microwave up here, and then I'll have a toilet in this corner, or a shower rather, and a toilet on this corner. And I'll keep you guys informed as we build that out. And then I want to finish the whole thing off with good stellar lighting inside, and some good solid wood floors and so on. So it's a real nice little hunting rig. I'll do a lot of that all on my own. It shouldn't take too much. It'll have basically all the amenities of a nice toy hauler, but not the price tag. It'll be just right because I don't like hauling around those giant rigs, and I just need it for one toy. Last year when I was hunting, man, it was rough. I took Brent's Jeep up in there to an area I was hunting in late season for mule deer. It was 10 degrees outside. And Brent's Jeep, just once the snow hit, it just couldn't handle it. I had to have Anthony drive me in on his four-wheeler everywhere I went. Those, UTVs that have the full enclosed roof and all that would be nice, but they're like $15,000, so that won't happen. But I might get a used four-wheeler that I can just roll in here and then use on some of those hunts where I can't get my truck in. And between the decked system and the what I've got dialed in there and how I've got this outfitted, it's going to be a nice little roll-around rig, base camp. And then what I like about the trailer, when I do pull into a trailhead, like we were talking earlier, people were like, well, are you worried about your stuff getting stolen inside your truck? That's always a concern. The deck system would help. But if I really want to store some stuff and keep it hard to get to, these trailers are pretty nice for locking up your gear. Plus, people can't tell if the trailer's empty or full. In a truck, they can look through a window. They can be tempted by what looks like some gear back there. In here, they're like, well, I might be breaking into an empty trailer. I don't want to do that. Anyway, I hope that was helpful to you. Got more questions? Drop them in the comments. Do us a favor. Look in the description field of this video for all the coupon codes that we've got out there for all the companies that we're working with. It is hunting season just around the corner, or by the time this goes out, it might be full swing hunting season. So look for that decked link if you're interested. Check out the code for Mountain Ops, supplements and protein bars and stuff. Check out Valkyrie right now because it's broadhead archery season. Check out Sissy Sticks. Use the code GRITTY for all that. Goat knives and sheep feet. Check those out. Custom orthotics for your boots. Go to Mark Livesey's e-scouting class. Take that online. That's an amazing deal, and we're working with him too. Use the code GRITTY there. Get yourself a discount on his class, and then do that because it's well worth every penny. And again, I think that's it for today. We really appreciate you tuning in. Stay gritty.